You have returned. How delightful. This evening, I invite you to walk with me through the corridors of time itself. There are places in this world where the veil between past and present grows strangely thin, where one might step forward, only to awaken centuries behind. In the summer of 1901, two English women, on what should have been a simple visit to the gardens of Versailles, claimed to have crossed that fragile threshold. What they witnessed has since become one of the most unsettling tales of time slips ever recorded. So, make yourself comfortable. Listen closely. And together, let us unravel the enigma of the Moberly-Jourdain Incident. I'm Sebastian, your host. Welcome to From Beyond. Shall we begin?
What if you could walk into the past? Not with a time machine, not in a dream, but just by taking a wrong turn on a summer afternoon. In 1901, two respectable British academics, Charlotte Ann Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, claimed that this is exactly what happened to them. During a visit to the magnificent Palace of Versailles, they said they didn't just see the gardens. They saw the gardens of the 18th century, complete with figures from a bygone era, including, they believed, the ghost of Marie Antoinette herself. This is the story of the Moberly-Jourdain Incident, one of history's most compelling and controversial tales of a possible glitch in time. Was it a shared hallucination, a haunting, or did these two women truly step into the past? Let's unravel the mystery. Our story begins on a hot summer day, August 10th, 1901. Charlotte Ann Moberly, the principal of St. Hugh's College, Oxford, and her vice principal, Eleanor Jourdain, were on holiday in Paris. They decided to take a trip to the famous Palace of Versailles. After a tour of the main palace, which they found somewhat underwhelming, they decided to walk to the Petit Trianon, a small chateau on the grounds, a favorite retreat of Queen Marie Antoinette. Using a Baedeker guidebook, they set off. However, they missed their turn and found themselves on an unfamiliar quiet lane. It was here that things began to feel off. A profound sense of oppression and dreariness washed over them. The world around them seemed to lose its vitality. Moberly would later write, "Everything suddenly looked unnatural, therefore unpleasant. Even the trees seemed to become flat and lifeless, like wood worked in tapestry. There were no effects of light and shade, and no wind stirred the trees." They started to encounter people, but these were not fellow tourists. They saw men who looked like palace officials, dressed in long, grayish-green coats and small, three-cornered hats. Jourdain noticed a cottage with a woman and a girl in the doorway, a scene she described as a tableau vivant, a living picture. Then, near a small kiosk, they saw a man with a dark, pockmarked face and a repulsive expression. They felt an intense aversion to him. This man, they would later come to believe, was the Comte de Vaudreuil, a friend of Marie Antoinette. As they finally approached the Petit Trianon, Moberly saw a lady sitting on the grass, sketching. She had fair hair and was wearing a light summer dress and a shady white hat. At first, Moberly thought she was just another tourist, but her dress seemed old-fashioned. The lady looked up at them, and in that moment, Moberly became convinced she was looking at none other than Queen Marie Antoinette. Jourdain, however, did not see the lady at all. Soon after, a footman rushed up to them, urging them to move on, and suddenly they were back in the bustling, familiar world of 1901, joining another tour group. The strange, dreamlike interlude was over, or was it just beginning? Initially, neither woman spoke of their peculiar experience. It was only a week later, when Moberly was writing a letter to her sister about their trip, that she casually asked Jourdain if she thought the Petit Trianon was haunted. Jourdain, to Moberly's surprise, confirmed her suspicion. 3 months later, back in Oxford, they finally compared their detailed notes. The discrepancies were striking, yet the core experience was undeniably shared. Convinced they had stumbled upon something extraordinary, they began extensive research into the history of the Trianon. Their investigations led them to believe they had witnessed events from August 10, 1792, a mere 6 weeks before the French monarchy was abolished. This was a period of immense turmoil, culminating in the siege of the Tuileries Palace. They revisited Versailles multiple times, desperate to retrace their steps, but the specific lane, the kiosk, the bridge, and the overall atmosphere they had encountered were nowhere to be found. The gardens were once again bustling with modern tourists, and the eerie stillness was gone. In 1911, under the pseudonyms Elizabeth Morrison and Francis Lamont, they published their account in a book titled An Adventure. The book caused a sensation, presenting a meticulously detailed narrative of their alleged time slip. A crucial piece of evidence emerged in 1903. An old map of the Trianon Gardens was discovered, depicting a bridge that the two women claimed to have crossed, a bridge absent from all other contemporary maps. This detail, they argued, lent significant credibility to their story. However, the book also faced immense ridicule and criticism for its implausibilities and inconsistencies. The identities of Moberly and Jourdain were not publicly revealed until 1931, long after the initial fervor had died down. The Moberly-Jourdain Incident has puzzled historians, parapsychologists, and skeptics for over a century, giving rise to a tangle of theories. Let's explore the most prominent ones. Theory 1, a true time slip. Some proponents suggest that Moberly and Jourdain genuinely experienced a time slip, a momentary transportation back to 18th century Versailles. This theory posits that certain locations can hold echoes of the past, replaying historical moments under specific rare conditions. Believers point to the precise details the women described, such as the old bridge and specific architectural features, which were later corroborated by historical records not publicly known at the time of their experience. However, critics argue that if they truly time-traveled, their 20th century attire would have caused a much greater stir, potentially leading to their arrest or worse. The idea of time not being linear is fascinating, but the practicalities of such a journey remain highly improbable. Theory 2, a haunting or residual energy. Another popular explanation leans into the paranormal, that the women encountered a haunting or residual energy. This theory suggests that intense emotional events, like those surrounding the French Revolution, can imprint themselves onto a place, creating a kind of energetic replay. In this view, Moberly and Jourdain didn't travel through time, but rather stumbled upon a ghostly echo, a historical memory bleeding into the present. Versailles, a site of immense historical drama and tragedy, could certainly be a candidate for such phenomena. This theory accounts for the visual and atmospheric changes without requiring a full physical displacement through time. Theory 3, shared hallucination or psychological projection. The most skeptical and perhaps most rational explanation suggests a shared hallucination or psychological projection. Both Moberly and Jourdain were academics, deeply immersed in history and literature. They were visiting a place steeped in the legend of Marie Antoinette and the French Revolution. Fatigue, suggestion, and the subtle influence of one mind on another could have transformed an ordinary, albeit confusing, walk into an extraordinary experience. Critics highlight the inconsistencies in their individual accounts. Moberly saw Marie Antoinette. Jourdain did not. Jourdain saw a cottage. Moberly did not. These discrepancies could be attributed to the subjective nature of memory and perception, especially when influenced by expectation and a desire for a compelling narrative. Furthermore, both women had other reported paranormal experiences throughout their lives, raising questions about their susceptibility to such phenomena. Regardless of what truly transpired on that August afternoon in 1901, the Moberly-Jourdain Incident remains one of the most captivating and enduring mysteries of its kind. It has inspired countless books, articles, and discussions, continuing to fascinate those who ponder the boundaries of reality, time, and perception. Skeptics dismiss it as a product of overactive imaginations, perhaps fueled by a desire for notoriety or simply a misinterpretation of mundane events. Yet, believers cling to the uncanny details that seem to defy explanation, details that appeared to align with historical facts unknown to the women at the time. The story forces us to confront fundamental questions. Is time truly linear? Can the past bleed into the present? Or are our minds more capable of constructing elaborate realities than we dare to imagine? The Moberly-Jourdain Incident serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes the most profound mysteries are not found in distant galaxies or ancient ruins, but in the quiet corners of our own history, waiting to be rediscovered. What do you believe happened at Versailles? The answer, perhaps, lies not in definitive proof, but in the willingness to embrace the unexplained. I have told you what I know. Whether you believe it or not is entirely up to you.
And so, the gardens of Versailles remain silent witnesses to a journey beyond the grasp of ordinary time. Did Moberly and Jourdain truly step into the year 1789? Or did their minds conjure a phantom world born of imagination and history intertwined? Perhaps we shall never know. Yet, the tale lingers, reminding us that the past is never as distant as it seems, and that time itself may hold secrets waiting to be uncovered by those who dare to wonder. As always, it was my pleasure, my dear. Until we meet again,